Alright, what's up, guys? I'm being told to hurry up. Even though Elspeth... Oh, there she is. I'm being told to hurry up. Hold on. Let me... I think they're yelling at me right now. Welcome to episode 17 of TableStory Ascendance. Let's see what they're saying. Are you guys yelling at me?
Yeah, we're yelling at you.
What is she yelling about?
What is going on?
Did that just open with congrats, bitch? Hey guys, welcome to TableStory Ascendance. Congrats, bitch.
Is somebody getting
Congrats, bitch.
Can we get a congrats, bitch, in the chat? Why is my microphone? Just can't keep up with the weight, I guess. So, what's up, guys? I didn't get a chance to say hi before the session. How's Conan, Jesse?
So now that you brought that up, I just finished.
Hold on. Okay.
Congrats, bitch.
Okay.
My
You
mom
explain
got a job.
first,
I'm
and
really,
then
I'm really
okay.
Awesome. Hype. Very cool. Sorry.
Well, okay, so I just finished arguing with my chat for like 30 minutes on early access games and whatnot.
Yeah, it was.
So
goodness.
before I get into my thoughts on Conan, what do you guys think of early access and its effect on the games industry?
I believe it. I believe it depends on whether or not it's a AAA title or not. I believe it's an amazing thing for smaller companies to do to get their game out there and actually work one-on-one with people like streamers, influencers, and it can actually shape and mold it to be an amazing thing.
Mhm.
However, I think that it's kind of. I think it might even be having a negative effect on AAA titles doing the same thing.
Well, what about the hundreds of smaller titles that just never get finished and you wasted your money on a game that doesn't get completed?
Well, that's
I
There needs to be regulation.
I don't buy those. Like, yeah. If it's a free early access, and then you pay for it because it's a good game, and by the end,
Bro, can
I
you
don't- I
click
don't
that
like
link in your chat, please?
I've already seen it. You're dead tonight. Just to
Just gonna-
just as a DM, I can say that too. That's the greatest thing. Is just
You know what?
Dead tonight.
I'm switching out Fireball, by the way. I'm gonna get Major Image, and I'm just gonna have a talking pineapple on my shoulder. always.
oh, why?
It's actually gonna be one of the munitions, so I can throw him too, and he blows up.
Why are we here? Is it just
But-
to suffer?
Oh, Fairlight, what was your opinion of early access?
Well, I personally think it's like Mitten said, it's good for it's good because it helps smaller companies kind of get their product out there early on. But overall, I think it just waters down. Like anytime you look at a game, you're just like, oh, here's yet another early access survival title that'll never be done. And it's just like at this point, it's kind of become it's almost a joke. Like most of these games will never get finished, and it's going to be a money sink with a company that's going to like take a bunch of money, start putting it into a project, but never finish the product, never deliver what they promised in the first place. You have thousands of people have now wasted their money, and then said company, in the case of like the Stomping Lands, said company may just take the money and bail. Or in the case of other games, or like DayZ, for example, here we are 27,000 years later, and it's still in early access.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm getting really sick of it. I kind of miss the day when it used to be, oh, hey, here is our finished game. You can buy it and play the whole thing.
Yeah.
I miss being able to do that instead of playing a game, and in a lot of cases you also play it, and then after you play it for 10 hours, and then that's all the content that's in the game, and granted 10 hours isn't too bad for like a single player game playthrough, but a lot of those, like take Resident Evil for example.
Is there no content in Conan?
No, no, I was about to say Conan is actually a lot more than 10 hours.
Okay.
So Conan's kind of Conan has its problems, and I don't recommend buying it immediately. But lack of content is not the reason.
Huh.
Conan has like lots to do, and it takes a while to grind it. Well, then again, it might just be because it takes so long to grind it. It feels like there's more content.
Yeah.
Because you're taking forever. But I feel like there's core important game elements that really need more polish. So it's not quite ready for me to recommend a purchase yet. It does have a lot of potential, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But if you ask me for an unbiased reviewer's opinion, what would I say? Don't buy it yet.
Yeah.
Now, unless you're like, if you're an early access survival aficionado and you love the survival genre in general, then you'll probably be fine. You can go ahead and buy it.
I think
for everyone else, no.
I think there's about 1,000 too many of that genre right now.
Well, that
early access survival crafting, like,
and then that's always the ones that you just pointed out. Those are the ones that never come out of early access.
yeah.
Pretty much. Oh, and it's not just that. I remember a game I was really looking forward to called what was it? Of Guards and Thieves. It was like a stealth puzzle multiplayer, like a team of guards versus a team of like one heavily armed and armored team versus basically a team of modern day ninjas that can stick to walls and move around. And it was kind of this
That
like
sounds
puzzle
badass.
where you have to
really
pass them. Yeah, it looked really freaking cool. And 8-player multiplayer with 4v4, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, development on it got canceled like 6 months ago after I dumped my money into it. So
Ouch.
just like 90% of other early access titles. So
There needs to be some type of consequence and regulation for it. It's great when you have stuff like Nio and For Honor lately. They're like, all right, here's a beta, play it. And then you see between the betas, oh, they adjusted this. Hey, they listened to us. This is better now. I want people to use this as a tool. Use the community if you need to make it better, but don't. If you pull out of it, you need to give money back. You need to do something because you can't. And then people just go like, oh well, we'll change our company name and we'll come up with something else. And now we're we're this great company. We have all this money.
There's a difference between early access where they're actually going to take and put it out to the community and then get feedback and then actually implement that feedback, like For Honor and a ton of other games that do that. And then there's just the ones that just kind of like Daisy, just kind of stay in limbo and they listen to maybe 2 or 3 different influencers that they're really tight with, or maybe they don't, or you know what I mean? And then it's just been a long time that's never really going to come. And
as Blake said,
sometimes
it's
it's
out.
very good, but sometimes it's bad.
Jay's happy we're arguing over this topic because it's taking more time to finish whatever the heck he's still working on over there.
Yeah. Jay, honestly, you could have just been napping this whole time, Jay. You could have,
Dude. Oh man.
We only did like 2 things last week anyway, so I mean, just
so white.
No.
Yeah, I feel like every session now, like
I turned into a possum. And
this
then,
is gonna be a day content or like a sessions content. Like, no, that's a week. That's a week's worth of sessions right there.
just put something shiny in front of like Elspeth or Mittens and something, and just let us go grab it. It's a trap.
It's a bomb. It's that bomb you threw back in session 14.
Somewhat topical. Jesse, I'm not sure if you ever got the photo, but Randall and Gotho actually met up at PAX South and took a photo together, which was.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
Was it? I wish it was like. Was it you putting? Jesse, you putting your hand over his face and him running at it, because that would have been, or like lifting him up.
You'll see it. I think we'll probably see it by next week, probably.
Oh.
We'll see.
Okay, yeah, you can't say and then not show us.
Wait, what? By next? How
is
long does it
early
take you to
access.
upload a picture?
Yeah, is this an early access photo or did you?
It's an early access photo.
camera.
It's still in development.
Early access camera.
It's an early access camera that takes a week to develop, but only if
I got a
5,000
guy in the
people
back
back it on
shaking the
Kickstarter.
Polaroid right now. You gotta shake the Polaroid for a week.
Oh my god. The stretch goal is in the next photo. They're naked. Those are the stretch goals.
I mean, we can only hope.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm going to
We hit our
suggest.
goal and change our company name.
I'm going to suggest, since we probably have a bunch of people in here who've never even seen D&D before, that we get started sooner rather than later. So we don't bore the heck out of
Podcast D&D is my favorite.
Podcast D&D.
Podcast D&D. Real quick, how was everyone else's week? Good.
It was good.
That look tells me like shut up and get on with the game. All right, man.
Are you talking Elspeth's look right now? Because that definitely looked like a shut up and leave me alone.
That was definitely
I was playing Overwatch.
My week was
It was yummy. Mine too.
Yeah.
You had ice
ooh.
cream.
That's a way to put
Ice
it.
cream.
All right.
Ice cream.
All right.
I would
We'll,
kill for some ice cream right now.
Me too, except I'm lactose intolerant. No, I'm not. I
I
just.
was like, wait, really?
I wish I
I've seen you in
was.
person,
No,
Jay. There's
then
no
I could
way
stop.
you're allergic to dairy.
I could, yeah.
Jesus.
This. Okay, listen. I know I'm fat, but I don't think I look that fat.
Oh, I'm getting there too, man. I
What
just
makes
shaved the
you
side of
fat?
my head so I don't look fat anymore. It's great.
Yeah, I angle my camera strategically so you can see 3 of my chins. That's that
It's all about the
new.
lighting,
All
the
right.
shadow on those chins. You know.
Yeah, I dude. So I raised my monitors, so my lights have to be raised, and then now my lights can't properly sit on me, so I have
It looks
to.
like you have a goatee. I'm gonna tell you right now. Looks like you have that like goatee.
Dude, I would, if my camera were down here, it would definitely get like this angle.
Mhm.
And I would just look like this the
Hold on,
entire
here we
time.
go. There
so
we
that's
go.
why I have my monitor raised
No
up on
shadows.
like
Oh, God.
3 science fiction books right now. And then I have the camera right up here. So I'm just like, This is a perfect hair. This is what I look like all the time.
I still want to
literally-
point out there's a big bearded dick in Brotatoe's camp. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hangs out there.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I forgot to change my name for today. That sucks. All right.
Bearded, or that looks like
It's a beard, man. It's
it looks like well, no, it looks like it's a brown penis with like I guess cinnamon, if you have cinnamon roll icing,
Yeah.
all over it. That's
Elspeth took some cinnamon and on that bearded penis. No, that's the dig old Bic. 2 years ago, I wrote everybody that subbed in January's name on it.
Yep. I remember that.
I didn't get banned somehow.
Yeah, that's
Still evading that one.
I mean, if I can play Conan Exiles and not get banned.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
So
I've seen so much genitalia from that game.
I
Really?
made Igor
So- yeah.
in Conan
So the-
Exiles.
So Conan has like it has 3 settings. You can choose to where your characters are always clothed.
Mhm.
So like the women will always have a top and a bottom, and then the guys will always have like a loincloth. Or you can do like the far opposite end, which is like full nudity. In which case, if you're not wearing anything, it's just all hanging out.
It's just all
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
dude.
there's like there's a middle setting that all covers the crotch region on both genders, but it leaves the boobs hanging out.
Yeah, I had
So-
this like I was like
That
building
need
my
to be
hut
a-
earlier,
So that's,
and then
that's if you go the middle one.
I turned around and this like naked woman just ran into my hut and like jumped 4 times and jiggled her tits and ran. I was like, oh,
And
Bye.
also
What?
the character creation screen. So how many of you guys played Ark
yeah,
Oh, word.
yeah.
or Reign of Kings?
Oh yeah, it's got the dick slider.
Yeah, so in,
Oh,
in those
really?
games, in those games, like in Ark, for example, it lets you choose like bicep circumference, so bicep length, and then forearm width and forearm length, and then hand size. Like it lets you customize each spot on your body, and then like
Oh.
jaw length, jaw height, nose length, and so you can go up and mess with all of that. In Conan Exiles, there are 2 options. Well, no, there's technically 3. There's technically 3 because there is height, so you can choose your character's overall height. But the other only 2 options for modifying your body are breast size and endowment, which just makes the dudes have a bigger dick.
You can literally make the dick
It's
like.
called
Yes.
endowment.
It's
Yes,
funny
it's
because
called
on the
endowment.
starting screen,
Those are the only 2
on your
options.
inventory, there's like always a breeze because your balls are like always like just going back and forth.
Yes.
So I made
Always in motion.
yeah, they're like always like swaying.
And so like when you're standing there in the game, you there won't be anything happening, but whenever you open the inventory screen, it's got this like cinematic effect where there's light shining on you and a breeze in the background. So if your character has a cloak or something, you see like the sun shining on their face.
Yeah, I have no pants on, so my balls
waving.
are always just.
But if you're naked, if you're just sitting there, and if it's a woman, she's just kind of bouncing around, and if it's a dude, he's like inadvertently teabagging whatever's under him.
So
Mittens roll for
weird.
wiener
Hold
size,
on.
by the way, dude.
Is this the?
Meatloaf.
Oh, I made a dude with a micro penis and massive
Yeah,
boobs.
me too. I made
Nice.
Igor.
I've been
I
trying
made
to pass
Igor.
him off as a female.
Well, you made Igor.
I made
Confirmed.
Igor. His name is Igor. I'm role
Dude,
playing as
this
Igor
is a step
when I meet other
closer
people.
to genital jousting, and I want to play that so badly.
One day.
One
Is this
day
working?
they'll let it
Why isn't
on.
this?
they'll let it
Oh,
on
that's
Twitch.
why. We turned it down. There we go. All right, so let's jump into the session after talking about dicks.
Are you live?
What's that?
Am I live?
What's that?
You
noise?
of course I'm live.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Have we been live?
Yep.
Are you shitting me, Al? Oh my god.
So about those dicks again.
And the last horse crosses the finish line.
Are you serious?
And we have Tenchi coming to
thought
pass,
you
followed by
hadn't gone
Fairlight.
live yet. I thought you had not gone live yet. Oh, hey, I'm the host, Brotatoe. Oh, yay. Ooh. All right, cool.
That's
Here we
right. She
go.
had stepped away for half a second. When
This
Jay
is
went,
oh, yeah, but like I figured she would have caught on when Jesse was like, "All right, so for anyone that hasn't played D&D before and is watching,
Just
Go ahead.
being really polite.
Yeah. So
And
that-
then I got promptly ignored. So
Yeah. Well, no. Then you went on.
I just
to, like, 2 minutes
wanted to
about
like
things
ask
and
how
doing
everyone
it.
else's
Okay,
day was."
I want to point that out, Jesse. You weren't just ignored. You went on about genitalia. And
no, someone else brought it back up.
but
again.
then you kept.
I'm
going.
so.
That's fine, dude.
I am
so glad.
traumatized.
I'm so glad.
This is going on YouTube too. Like this is going to be in.
I'm so
yeah.
fucking glad I didn't say anything super embarrassing.
I would've-
That
I
would've
was
been-
like,
I don't even
so
know what I would have
embarrassing.
done.
It's
Yeah,
just
yes.
like,
Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah, right.
Last
Elspeth's like
church.
Elspeth's sitting there like, so when are we gonna start? Like,
Yeah.
That is me. That's legitimately God
Elspeth,
dang. I didn't
You're right.
hear
What she
it.
does on stream,
Sorry.
though, so
We're
it's
we're
okay.
all good. I didn't repeat any of the stuff you said last Saturday.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Thanks. Jesse's got my back.
All right. You guys ready to jump into it?
Yeah,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, back to Conan penis size. No.
What a ridiculous game. That's funny.
So, where did we leave off last session? You guys were last week. You came out of the castle, Viber's ruin, and there wasn't much that went on other than, unfortunately, Randall decided to eat the Chimera's heart that he had taken out of the Chimera.
In the name of Yondala.
In the name of Yondala. We're going with that. We're in the name of
wouldn't just
Yondala.
do that.
That's why I do most things. That's why Randall does most things that he does.
Okay. We're gonna go within the name of Yondala. He ate the Chimera heart, went feral, and decided to attack all of you. Specifically going for Elspeth. She was the closest one, or Forrest, sorry, closest one. And he was promptly tied down, thrown into a box, burst out of the box, kept hissing, and
I basically turned into a rabid possum
you were a rabid possum.
for an hour and a half.
You were a flesh-eating rabid possum.
And I have to say, even the sight of Fora's exposed breasts, she
Yeah, dude.
decided to, in a moment of sheer brilliance, Fora decided to flash Randall, which should have worked.
And if we had been playing Conan, she could have maxed out the size
Exactly.
with jiggle physics and everything.
Once
would- yeah, okay.
Jesse's back to the Conan.
Back to the Conan, man. Once you see him, you just can't stop thinking about him.
You pretty much.
And Conan. After that, you were again tied up, and after the effect of the bestial rage subsided, you guys all took a long rest and slept overnight. Awakening in the morning, finding that somebody had entered your camp, and that something had been stolen from you, the tome of one of the tomes of Ascendance that you were sent to get. That music got really intense there for a second. I don't know what that was, man. We were in the jungle, the Congos.
I was like, there was some like jungle beats, man.
Yeah,
This was-
man. And the tome of Ascendance that you had gone and gotten from the Temple of Knowledge had been taken by somebody that you suspected to be Talon. You
From
had
Talon, who you suspect to be Talon.
Who we suspect to be Talon, he
We
said.
suspect that Talon may in fact be Talon.
Uh-huh.
It's probably Igor, to
Honestly,
be
we don't
completely
even know
honest.
at this point.
could have
right?
been Igor. You never know.
Could have been Igor.
Speaking of Igor, you consulted
it.
with Lyra, the shadowy figure that kind of now resides within you, Gotho, and she had told you that you shouldn't have even gotten the tomes in the first place, and that they were to not be trifled with, and promptly told you to speak with Igor on the matter, and hopefully he could shed some light for you. That's where we find ourselves, episode 17. You guys standing, it's morning. There's kind of like a light breeze. The sun is just starting to come up. It's just a bit over the trees now in the forest that you guys are in front of, and you're standing in the ruined garden of the keep across the bridge. What do you guys want to do?
Real quick, we had been talking. I remember the last thing we were talking about was basically whether or not to go. Had we made up our mind what we were going to do, whether or not to go and set the trap for King Gray or go directly and kill King Gray?
I was fine
Or-
with going after Gray.
Yeah, I thought we were all gonna. What did we decide? It was like we were in the middle
We
of that
didn't decide.
conversation. Jay was like, "And that's where we're gonna end it."
No.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, but
can't
I ended
remember
it on
what we
Gotho.
decided on. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think we were kind of like debating that amongst the four of us. Gotho receded into the recesses of his mind and talked to his
Yeah.
spirit.
Elspeth's gonna look at her cards.
Yeah, you.
That's it.
Oh.
That was it. That was it.
You had said you wanted to look at your cards. Also,
Yes.
you guys had agreed, or Randall had like kind of pressured Fora into going and avenging her mother, and Gotho, I think you pressed a little bit as well, and Byranus didn't eat the potato. That was all I remember of the conversation.
Still not
then
one of
then
us. That's all
Gotho
I'm
went
saying.
into his own mind, kind of type deal.
His mind palace.
So, what do you guys want to do? His mind.
Okay, I'm gonna lay out my cards here.
Okay.
So I wanna read the cards again to see where we need to go
Okay.
or what the cards tell us.
Mirandus is very interested in this.
Okay, so yeah, you the second she like sits down, you four, you sit down, you pull out your pack while maybe Randall and Gotho are talking for a brief moment, and you start to pull out the deck of gold. 13 cards, as you pull them out, they all kind of softly clink together. And the second she pulls them out and you hear the clinking, Baranus, your attention is like almost immediately compelled in that direction. I'd say you're like 10-ish feet away from her, maybe 5 feet away from her, and you can just see her like carefully laying them out. How many cards are you drawing?
4.
4? Okay.
Because you never draw more than 4. Because if you draw a 5th card, that's just bad.
Okay.
That's bad. That's just bad.
That's bad.
So the problem here is Igor didn't really teach you how to read them. He just kind of did the reading for you. So go ahead, give me an Arcana check with disadvantage to see if there's anything you can trigger or do.
Arcana with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. After like kind of briefly looking over them, and again as you pull them out, like the faces are blank. There is a small scroll at the bottom to indicate which house the card belongs to at that time. They're blank and unmoving. Kind of flipping them over, briefly examining them, you can see the small dragons, the speckles of the small rubies on the back side of it. There's not really anything coming to you. You don't really see anything on the card. There's no button to press. There's nothing that you can like remember from any of the studies that you've done in brief travels on anything of this type of magic. As you kind of like place them down for a moment and pick them back up, they don't seem to activate right now.
Okay. Well, I suppose I have to wait until I actually know how to read these. So she just starts picking them, putting them back in the pack.
Okay.
Since they're really not doing anything for me right now, there's no use in keeping them out.
Do I have any idea?
Roll me. Yeah, I'd say roll me an Arcana check. Yeah, for a brief moment, like as she's putting them back in the bag, you kind of notice a slight shift in the card on the face, and kind of like immediately thinking you've almost read about this somewhere where it requires just to simply sit there to look inwards and also somewhat call out to Ogma in a slight way. Whether it be invoking him or praying to him, it just requires you to tap into his magic for a brief moment to use something like this, as there are other relics of his.
I want to move my hand towards where she's putting stuff away without touching her.
Wait. Put them back. I think you had it. Maybe a little coaxing of the individual. Maybe we call out? Have you tried that before?
What do you mean by call out? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, if I remember correctly, Ogma, the god of pies and mice, sometimes needs to be pies, but not with mice in them. Pies and
Shut up, Randall.
Shut. Pies. Just call out to him, invoke him, and maybe he will help with us. I think we need an invocation.
Oh. All right. Well, I guess we could try that. It's worth a shot. For a pulse speed.
Baranus
4
takes
cards.
like 10 steps back.
Okay.
And she lays out the first card.
Okay. How are you arraying them? You just placing them down one by one, or?
Yes, in a diamond shape.
Okay.
So like, let's say this is the diamond, and the 4 cards are each here. She places the first one at the bottom of the diamond.
Okay.
And then she calls out, Ogma? I've never done this before. I summon you to help me out with these cards, please. I cannot understand and I need your guidance. Thanks.
If Yondala will not listen to me in this place, I highly doubt any other god will listen to one of you in this place either.
As he's like saying that, very very assuredly the first card. You can sense something from. Have you flipped it or are you?
Yes.
Is it
Yeah,
okay?
it's been
so
flipped.
the first card immediately lights up. You
Son
see,
of a bitch.
You see like a familiar face. Although there is no face, you can see the physique, the shape, the size it's correct. But from the inner chest are two pairs of eyes and shadowy tendrils, with the word virgin at the bottom of it on the card.
Can I roll? Can I roll for an
Does
Arcana?
Randall see this? Randall's standing behind them, a little like 10 feet behind them. Does Randall see what's on the card?
I mean, from that, yeah, sure. Roll me a perception check. What's up, Elspeth?
Can I roll Arcana or Perception or anything to see if I understand what this means?
Yeah, roll me. I say roll me an intelligence check. Okay, you can't see it as well, Randall. It's a little bit obscured. You can see something definitely like pop up on the card, almost as if it just kind of comes from within the card. But you'd have to move closer to see, since you said you're about 10 feet away. Which you can do if you'd like to. Just let me know. And
Randall steps forward, but
Okay.
makes it look like he's he's like kicking twigs on the ground out of
Okay.
the way, more like
Yeah.
he's clearing the campsite, not actually interested in what's going on.
Yeah, look, thinking for like a moment for it's
That
clear
awkward moment when I realized my mic was muted this entire time.
I just assumed you were chilling.
Are we live?
Are we live?
Are we live, guys?
Are we live?
All right. Never mind all of what I was going to say. Whatever everyone else is. At this point, Gotho's just like staring like more intently at the cards than he usually looks at
Okay.
anything.
Okay. You
Gotho, come look. What do you think of this?
Can you describe it for me one more time?
it's right there on your screen, is it not?
It should be popped up on D20 for you.
Oh.
Also, I'll take a roll
I mean,
at
like
it,
again,
too.
Gotho, like as you look down at it, it kind of fairly like resembles you as you are briefly like maybe reaching out for a small second to lean down. You can see the same tattoo across your hand, the same hand color, and immediately like as you lean a little closer and you look for a moment, it's exactly like the image from when you were just talking to Lyra a couple moments ago. That is almost essentially exactly what you see when you are kind of dipping into your own consciousness, save for
Right.
it's just the black shadowy tendrils and it's not you.
Right. And Gotho has never actually told any of the others that he has Liara with him, has he? Okay. So yeah, when Fora tells him to take a look, Gotho gets a little bit. He gets. I think I was warned like several episodes back to not actually touch the card.
Yeah, you all were.
And Gotho remembers that, but he gets his nose like right next to it. It is Gotho and Liara.
Oh, what is a Liara?
At this point,
Her.
Randall's leaning in.
Her.
Her. Who is her? What is the tentacles?
The shadow.
Black
how
magic.
do you? Oh, okay, Gotho. I don't know what he's talking about. She says this to Randall.
Can I hear her say that?
I'll be doing this.
I'd say you're like right next to her, so yeah.
At this point, we're all basically like, we're all kind of.
I don't know. When you do that, I don't know what he's saying. She is here.
In your head?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it say virgin? Why are these tentacles coming out of here? I mean, that's obviously you. That's your hand.
I'm sure the virgin means nothing. That's
What?
that's the side note.
What is virgin?
Baranus, do you want to field that one?
Unsullied.
Yes.
What is unsullied?
It's like being a virgin.
Before
It's
you
better.
walk through it.
You make no sense.
You might not be ready for this one yet, Gotho.
Gotho has been ready for everything so far.
Okay.
He's right.
Not everyone is ready for this one, my friend.
Also true.
Usually, when a man and a woman, or another man, or a woman,
Or a fey creature.
or a fey creature.
We don't have to talk about this, do we? This is obviously black magic.
Or
Nothing
a-
else should be. We shouldn't worry about this at all.
Or a construct.
Or a construct are very attracted to each other.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Usually consensual. Perhaps this is best explained at another time. It's probably
tell
better to
both.
explain another time.
You tell Gotho new words all the time. Why do you hesitate so much with this one? What is wrong?
Well, this one I guess is a bit more sensitive of a subject, Gotho.
Or
We
it
are-
might not be sensitive. We don't know.
Or it might not be sensitive. It's how people make babies. It's how babies are made.
Fuck off!
It's the
And Randall,
idea.
at that point, Randall just like turns and walks away. Like,
It's the idea of procreation. Generally, if one has not engaged in that, usually that's what it is. It apparently is meant for. But you don't always have to have a baby at the end of it. It can be a natural, beautiful thing, Gotho.
the sun's coming up. We really should be going.
It can be a beautiful, wonderful thing between two people, or 3 people, or 15 people.
I'd say it's almost noon, matter of fact.
Anyway, Gotho, it's usually just called sex. But a virgin is someone who has never had sex before. I hope that cleared things up.
Card is accurate then. Gotho has no children.
Yes, that is very true. Very true. Never fathered any children. We're okay there. Okay, good. Glad we got that out of the way. Okay. And she draws another card.
Okay.
And
You're
she-
acting very weird.
I'm sorry, Gotho. I generally don't explain these things to people. It's more of a secret in society. People usually don't talk about it.
For good reason.
For some reason. I don't know.
For your species to continue is a secret.
Yes. And no.
You make no sense.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. It's a very, very weird thing that a lot of people just like to hide.
Gotho had guessed it would require one male, one female to make a child because humans walk around that way, one of each.
Yeah.
So it's not much of a secret then, is it?
No.
Okay.
Just don't bring it up if we meet anybody, okay?
I think I found raspberries over here.
It's best to keep it secret for no reason at all.
Is it the same with halfling and tiefling?
All
And
right, I really.
human.
Randall at this point comes walking back. I really must protest. This is black magic. We have no reason to do this. Igor isn't even here. We don't know what the hell we're doing. Let's
Gotho
move
must-
on. We have a plan. We should stick to it.
Gotho
let's
must
see.
find Igor.
I agree.
I
Why
also
did-
agree
why-
with this.
Why
Me
do
and
you?
Uranus.
Why do you need to find Igor?
He will tell us what to do next. He's the only one who seems to have his head on right around here. You're all just sitting around looking at cards like a bunch of fools. We should be moving immediately.
We're looking at card. We have more cards.
Are these not the same cards that Igor consulted?
They are the same cards.
He knew what he
So-
was doing.
So it's just as good as having Igor here. Who's Igor?
Maybe not. I'm sure Igor could explain the birds and the bees much easier than I could.
I could cast a spell and show it. It's like a pantomime.
I'm gonna
You
start
do, and I
casting
will
spells.
slap you silly, sir.
Just one
Probably
second.
not-
I
not
have to
the
adjust the
best
size
idea.
with this slider.
No, Baranus, we don't need that. Thank you. We just don't
Okay.
put it down. Put it down.
I'm sorry.
Right. Let's go find Igor. She puts the first card away.
Okay.
Puts the rest of the cards away.
Okay. You said you were putting down a second card. Did you do that or no?
Well, this is
Are
we
you
technically
deciding
are.
whether or not to?
On second thought, She lays out the second card.
Okay.
On the right side of the diamond.
Okay.
So it's a diamond,
Yep.
right side. Technically, it's your left. It's Flora's right.
So as you take the second card, draw it, flip it over. It takes a moment. The first card still staying there. As soon as the second card it pops into view, the first card seems almost animated. The tendrils on the card start to move. And Baranus, like you start to get like a really small, like slight headache as it feels like the pressure in the air starts to actually weigh down on everything around you.
Have I felt this before?
Does Randall feel this?
I'd say like you and Gotho, Randall, you feel some slight discomfort. But it's nothing like you would know like this is like there is very heavy magic in the air, Baranus. And you felt this before, like when sometimes your cantrips and spells go wrong or backfire. It just seems to weigh down on you almost.
Oh, this is getting good. Goody. I hope I'm the next card. Go.
Second card pops into view. A sigil that you remember, but the moon that's out every night. One of the two, the slight pale green in the photo. This time overtaken almost halfway by this also kind of pale red. The same as the second moon in the sky. As you see like the back of a man with short black hair, his arm kind of cast down to the side holding a white mask, and in the background you see a woman standing there, kind of cloaked by shadow. His cloak, the man's cloak, covered in what seems to be fire, almost like embers burning a cloak or a piece of cloth. And it says night again at the bottom of the card.
That's awesome.
Can I Arcana or History check that?
Yeah, sure. Elspeth, you can as well if you'd like.
Okay.
Just roll me an
Do I roll intelligence or
check,
Arcana?
yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
I mean, you so immediately from the sigil, as soon as it pops up and the black hair, you can see the mask almost hidden out of view. You recognize it as Kelimvor, the man who has approached you and the party once or twice now. There's no indication from working this out who the figure is, but you kind of get the feeling that the both moons, one being the bright burning orangish red, and the other one in the sky at night being the pale green, something with a symbolism of the red overtaking the green might mean some kind of conflict. The moon Lathander and the moon Kelimvor.
Randall would like to cast Divine Sense.
Okay.
To see if this is if there's evil magic.
Okay.
Or actually, in fact, evil or good magic or beings in 60-foot radius.
We've gotten, just before you do that, I've gotten, rather, Divine Sense wrong in the past. It lets you see celestials, fiends, and undead creatures. It's not detect good and evil. So if you, so it's not a detect good and evil spell. You can still cast
strong
it.
evil registers on your senses. Okay, but it has to be an actual individual.
It'd be an undead, a fiend, or I think it's a celestial, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
So I mistook the.
But specifically beings, not items.
Yeah, exactly.
He still does that.
Real quick, apparently I'm levitating on the camera, and it's very distracting.
Oh wait, you actually are. My bad.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Fix that.
I want to look over at Gotho, scoot next to him when Randall starts casting, and point to him and go,
Izzard.
No. God.
Oh.
Even worse.
True.
So, your as for your history check, what are you trying to know about the card?
Just who the individuals were.
Okay, yeah, you can the sigil you can immediately you know it's Kelimvor. Sorry, that would have been more of a religion check, but you immediately know it's Kelimvor for some text that you've maybe read in the past, and I mean you know that the moon in the sky, Lathander, and the other moon, Kelimvor, are named after both of the gods. So
Okay.
you can assume that it might be both of them in the same picture. Whenever you're ready, Elspeth.
This looks really bad. And she pulls the third card and lays it to the left of the diamond.
Okay. Third card. Another small feature you recognize. At first you see like a young woman, almost like a girl of a very young age, but then you kind of recognize the same traits and features that you do in Randall. You can see small hints, not of heritage, but of or family blood, but of halfling heritage and the same race. And then immediately the girl is holding a man's hand, and you immediately recognize the small kind of multicolored fish scale looking armor that Randall wears himself. At the bottom of the card it says Queen.
Oh. But she's so cute.
Who is holding her hand?
Does Randall have any knowledge of this? Seeing this? I mean, like, does he recognize himself in the photo?
Yeah, I'm sure you'd immediately see like your signature armor.
In my memory.
Yeah, and to you, sorry, if you are looking, you would immediately recognize Yondala, your goddess.
Is your armor multicolored like that?
Yeah, it's like blue and green fish scales almost. I'm from the sea.
Jesus.
It's pretty badass. Yeah.
Can Fora roll intelligence to see if she knows anything about this?
Yeah. So there's not too much that strikes out at you. You can't recognize who it is. Again, looks like a young woman, but then you quickly identify as a halfling. But the only thing you can glean is it's not like he is leading her. It's more as if they're standing together, united.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. It's the last one, and this one goes on top.
Okay. Hold up. There we go.
Is there any further pressure or anything?
Yeah,
It's
like
just-
with each card, it's kind of like it's almost like your knees are somewhat starting to buckle, but like they're still holding. It just feels like gravity, if you were to know what gravity was, is weighing down on you so hard to the point where you'd almost have to sit.
And this is just by Rannis, right?
This is just by Rannis, yeah.
Okay, by Rannis.
Extremely sensitive to magic. You guys, like, as each card draws, the air gets a little tighter. It becomes a little harder to breathe. It's not too much for you to notice, like, oh shit, something's up. But you feel discomfortable or uncomfortable. Sorry, yeah, you feel discomfort and you feel like out of place. Almost like when you're antsy and you have to do something. It feels like almost like you don't belong here. As the fourth and final top card goes down. Euphoria, you don't feel anything up until this point, but it's almost like a wave of hundreds of emotions, inner turmoil, self-consciousness and self-esteem issues, and just feeling like you're worth nothing, like nothing is possible, like you failed everybody and everything around you. It just seems to wash over you as soon as the card touches, and the face comes up of the bottom. It says priest. In the background, again, you see the same moon as in the second card, slowly being overtaken by the red glow, and a throne made of vines and leaves with two roses on it, with an empty spot, and a red-headed woman weeping and sobbing. And as you like focus in on her, you can feel sadness and guilt and anger and anguish kind of wash over you even further.
Whoa.
Baranus is going to be leaning on Gotho a little bit at this point to keep up, and I'm very interested in this card. I want to look at it. Be okay to roll a
Fora's
check?
gonna roll intelligence again.
Okay.
Fuck, dude.
Can I use any of my skills, Arcana, Investigation, or History?
So what specifically are you trying to figure out?
Who's the lady and who's the guy? The shadow.
So the it's not. It might be a little deceptive. The shadow is just. It's almost like somebody has
someone's
sat
sitting.
there, and the vines and the leaves have grown around it.
Is that a
and-
sword in its hand on its lap?
No, it's just the actual. It's a bench.
Okay.
Or a throne rather.
Yeah. Okay, I see it now.
Also, again, for sure it ties into the second card that you've drawn. There's not there's not much that you can notice at first glance, but looking almost like a little bit further into the photo, you almost feel as if you're drawn in. You notice on the ground next to the throne, there are rose petals have fallen off, and the two roses there, one of them starts to wilt in front of your eyes, and another one just kind of flakes down and falls on the ground. And with each, like, again, it becomes a little bit more animated the longer you look at it. You can see the woman's like shoulders kind of sagging and up and down as if she was just sobbing into her hands uncontrollably. And with each like sob, with each small shoulder shake, you can feel almost like a wave again of just sadness, turmoil, anguish, feeling worthless, feeling helpless, like nothing could happen. And the red on the moon starts to overtake the green fully.
At this point, Randall's seeing, and Four is visibly shaken by this, right?
Yeah, you can see like almost like perfectly in time. I mean, you wouldn't know these quote unquote waves are hitting her, but like you can almost see for like your inadvertently and unknowingly, like your nails are kind of just digging into the dirt.
I'm not letting anybody touch the cards.
You know, trying to hold on basically.
I'm gonna roll perception to see if I notice her physical reaction to these cards.
Yeah, you can see it well enough.
When this card comes up and I see her really starting to react, that's enough. That's enough. And he makes a move to throw a cloak over the card or a bag or whatever.
Wait! Don't touch them.
I'm gonna say Gotho attempts to intercept said cloak.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
Bora also does the same thing.
I mean, you go to throw it over really quickly, like
touch
just looking out for Fora, and Gotho like reaches out and doesn't catch it, but Fora, your arm just quickly blocks it and kind of wraps itself around your arm.
We need those.
We need these.
No
matter how horrible they are, we need these. They are.
These.
Is this dangerous in any sense to any of the other party members, Jay?
What?
The cards, having them out there. This isn't calling something to us, or I don't feel, because obviously I'm heavily affected by it, but I don't feel anybody else is in danger.
No, you can't really sense anything coming to you. Again, it just seems like extremely heavy magic has been called into play here.
It's at this point. Does Randall can he see at this point that Baranus is actually catching on to Gotho and being held down?
I'd say that you can see like there's beads of sweats, and you said you were like grabbing onto Gotho to kind of hold yourself up. Yeah, I mean you'd obviously see that. I'd say like beads of sweat are kind of coming down his face. Kind of looks a little pale, almost like sickly, as if he's eating some bad food. His breath.
Look at him! Look what it's doing to him, Fora! And I point to Baranus.
It's okay. I'm fine. I'm just a little hungry.
I'm sorry, my friend. All right.
So what do
Remember
they
these
mean?
cards? I don't know.
That is Yondala, Randall says at length, finally revealing, pointing to the queen card.
That's Yandala. Is
This
that you?
armor looks like his.
Is that supposed to be
I
you,
cannot
Randall?
be sure if that is me, but that is my queen.
You are
This is black magic.
not that tall. Does Yandala have other servants who would wear same armor?
It's a possibility.
The
By the
card-
way, how she showed up on these cards here in this place. We should not be doing this.
The card shows her as being small. If other person were you would be the same size. That is probably a man.
Jay,
Remember, from your vision of her, she did look like a young child almost.
Yeah.
Almost not fully developed. She wasn't wearing that dress.
Randall, you're saying Randall knows that?
Yeah. Sorry, she wasn't wearing that dress, but even her armor, like even her sword, it would be like a dagger for a human.
Yeah.
She seemed a little bit smaller than normal, and smaller than you.
You speak of things that you do not know, my friend. This is my queen, and that could very well be me.
Is that a sign of lack of power or a youngness?
But she looks so assured. She looks like she's meant to be there. She's looking directly at us.
She is, after all, the goddess of protection.
She does not appear to be in danger.
She looks like she's walking with you. If I were to judge, I would say that this is a sign that she is there with you. Even if you can't hear her.
Jay, can I try and contact Liara in the middle of this reading?
Sure. Yeah. It's Lyra, by the way. Just a heads up.
Sorry, Lyra.
No worries. I just didn't want anyone to be confused.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Gotho is reaching back into his consciousness to try and get the entity's attention, but this time he's doing it with his eyes open.
Okay. As you
looking at the cards,
kind of try to draw inwards, you specifically staring at her, her on the card there. It seems like as you familiar feeling of just kind of settling into yourself, controlling your breathing, and as you breathe in, you try to go inwards, and it just almost like something just quickly pushes you out. And you try a couple more times, and as you do, like this slight pain starts to set into your head, as if you've actually physically ran into a wall. Each time you've tried to kind of reflect inwards.
Gotho's gonna tell this to Baranis. Gotho knows this one, and he's pointing at the shadow on the first card. Lyra is in here, but Gotho cannot talk to her now with cards on table.
It could be, and I'm gonna guess at this, it could be the strength of the magic here is interfering.
Can you make picture of cards?
Of course.
I've actually already been drawing them. They're probably not terribly great, but I want to get the main majority of stuff down.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna draw a horse probably too, or some bullshit. Just assuming.
Randall, real quick, roll me a religion check while you're looking at the cards. Just as a note as well, like as you're again looking over the cards really quick, Randall, the fourth card, you recognize the gown, some of the details of her dress, the flowing red hair and just almost like comes to you and reminds you of Soon.
Who? I'm sorry.
Soon, S-U-N-E.
I definitely know who that is.
I also know exactly who that is.
Sorry,
It's the king.
not Soon, Suni, rather.
is
Yeah,
that
it's
the
the
king?
king. It's the king.
Marcus, right?
It's Marcus's middle name.
Exactly.
Marcus
King Marcus Soon Gray. Yeah.
I throw lit munitions at it.
but-
We killed him.
Bullet. Can we get a bullet point of who that is?
She's the goddess of love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I should be taking notes.
I should have a pen. I'm pretty sure my
I
pen
just used the bio page.
And wait, which one of these is Soon that we recognize?
red
The
hair,
fourth one
priest,
is the one,
priest.
Randall. You just said you should be taking notes?
Yeah.
Maybe, so you know who King Gray is.
Well, I remember that. I'm not an idiot.
Sick burns.
While this is all happening, while they're slightly discussing for just a few moments, you can again feel the mounting sadness and anguish kind of just continue to rise with each moment that the cards are out. It continuously seems to get worse and worse and worse until you start to think back to terrible thoughts of your own, right? You can recognize that these aren't your feelings, but you start to think back on terrible thoughts of your own, like the moment when you had walked into the cell and found your mother, the moment when you were out swimming that one day as a child and come back and seen the portion of the docks where you called home completely on fire, when Jody had fallen off the cliff and you had found him later on. It just seems to just progressively get worse and worse and worse with each kind of washing wave over you.
Piranus, are you done? Have you taken the drawings? Have you drawn any of these, or does everyone think that they will remember these?
I'm not likely to forget soon. We must stop this now.
They are here now.
Oh, I can't take looking at them much longer. I'm going to put them away. Okay, is that all right with everyone?
Randall moves as though to put them away himself at this point.
No, Randall. Don't touch them.
Put them away and be done with it.
Okay, and she's picking up in reverse.
Okay.
In reverse that she laid them out and putting them back.
As you immediately pull the first card, it clear, empty mind. The emotions no longer coursing through you. You almost feel numb and raw. You start pulling away. You actually physically watch Baranus, like as she pulls each card, it seems that the pressure in the air kind of lifts, as if this vice grip that was around your head and almost your entire body seems to slowly get slack and less taut with each card being taken off. And finally, the last one, it's almost like your ears pop almost. She finally pulls the last one off and quickly stacks them and puts them away.
Okay, everyone feel better? Woo! That was awful. I don't think I want to do that again for a long time.
Gotho felt mostly nothing.
Oh.
What else is new?
We should find Igor.
Randall yelled a lot.
We should find him and ask them what those
What else
meant.
is new?
He is the only one that I would know who would be able to decipher some sort of thing like that.
I agree. We should find Igor.
What's the nearest town from here? Uranus, do you know?
I'll pull out the map and take a look.
Yeah, roll me a quick. Oh, you're taking on the map?
Yeah.
Okay.
That map does not help anyone.
I can read it.
Here there be.
I can read it. There be horse there.
Here there be stick figure.
Yeah, I mean, looking really quick, there's like a small town, small fishing village to the southeast. That isn't Podias. It's a little bit north. You'd wager it's maybe a little bit too far, probably about a 2-day travel. There is the city of Og inside of the fairy woods, and to the north, the Dusk, as well as to the west, where you guys came from, Tilsteed.
I'm gonna point out Og because it's close.
I mean, we're already here, and there's a wonderful place here full of not wizards.
That's
and
good.
There's no chimeras.
Also very good.
And we might be able to explain further about the birds and the bees. Remember fey creatures?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, I
Yes.
would never forget fey creatures. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, which direction to Og? Let's find Igor.
Is Og
Hopefully
not?
he will be there.
Is Og not on the map?
Og is not on the map, no.
Do I have a general idea where it would have been? Because I've been around these areas, getting kicked out of towns.
Yeah, like
constantly.
again, I consider your map a little bit adjusted, updated, and to draw on the map, I guess.
Adjusted.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw in there and I'll have like a little ferry or something near it.
I'd say right about there on
I'm
the
gonna
map.
name it Link.
Y'all see that on the map there?
Y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So roughly just about I'd say half a day's walk from where you are inside of the forest.
I'm still suffering a point of exhaustion, correct?
Yes, you're at 1 point of exhaustion.
Because I had 2 and then I did a full rest.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
If we
All
go
right.
to village, we may miss our chance to set a trap.
I think it should be.
Well, it is north up here, and Greywall Tower is further north, so we should be able to find the path along the way. It should be okay, I believe.
It would be easier to find the tracks they left before they entered the forest.
I thought they left no tracks.
Wagons and horses that leave no tracks.
Wagons and horses. Well, who are you talking about? I thought you were talking about Talon.
No, Gray. King
Oh.
Gray.
Oh, that's right. We have to wait for that bastard.
Would
We do
We
not
still
have
got-
to wait for Gray. We can go to him.
Yeah, we still got a day before he comes to the fairy woods, I believe.
Yeah.
He
And
will
when
come. He will come tomorrow. If we attack him at his stronghold, he will have all his men. He will have a fortress. We ambush him in the woods. We have surprise. And we have
reinforcements.
the rebels coming from Tilsteed.
Should we stay here? I mean,
Where
I
were we
don't know
gonna
if we
meet
can make it to town to find Igor in a day's time.
We
Make
could
it
walk.
to and back.
We could walk to Og and come back, but that will leave very little time to set up the trap.
But it might be our only chance of finding Igor and sorting this out.
We can find him after we kill Marcus Gray.
Marcus Gray must die. This is our priority.
I guess
Yondala has willed it.
I don't know what to do in the meantime.
Gotha puts his hand on Fora's shoulder and kind of like tries to get her attention, so she's looking up at him directly. Killing Marcus Gray was for you and your mother. If you think it can wait, Gotha can go somewhere else.
No, you're right. I just don't want to put anyone else in danger.
But danger is where all the fun is. It'll be
It's-
okay.
It's also where we've been since Gotha met you.
As you saw on the cards, Yondala walks with me. She is my
Gotho.
protection.
Gotha is starting to like the danger anyway.
You sick freak, I knew you'd come around.
Does Randall have any like flap of clothing, or is it all just hard like armor on the outside?
I have it's like a male coif. It's almost like a hoodie, like bunched up at the back, like underneath his bun of hair.
I want to be I want to inspect Randall and look for Yondala.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Ooh.
Try as you might. You kind of, as they're talking, just kind of peeking around, looking underneath the ears. That's an important place to check. Gonna just stealthily lift up the
Poke him a little
coif.
bit.
Nothing.
Do you mind?
Nothing.
Did I find the other half of the potato?
What was that investigation check for?
To see if
Yondala.
Yondala was with him.
Oh,
I'll say sure. You found the other half of the potato. Yeah.
Can I slide a hand that out of his pocket?
Wait, what are you doing? Like I noticed him like lifting
Yeah.
out my hood and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So okay, give me a sleight of hand check at disadvantage since he knows you're there.
7.
You just as he's like lifting, you feel the other hand going for this half of a potato.
Wait, stop that! I slap his hand away.
Ooh.
No, now, and I reach into the pocket and find a potato. Like nothing else is in that pocket besides the potato. Oh, are you looking for this? Are you one of us now? Eat the potato.
Yes,
Wait,
eat the potato.
is this Yondala?
How dare you?
Can I take one
I'll
of
show
my
you
pencils and
Yondala.
like
At this
draw a
point,
happy face
Randall-
on it?
At this point, Randall just shoulder tackles him, like just like tries to take him by the
Oh!
leg.
okay. Gotha's gonna try and intervene since he's
Oh.
standing right
As
there.
you,
Yondala,
as you
save
go to like
me!
intervene, you see
Did he yell out Yondala?
Piranha's like reaching out, going to draw, and then suddenly like you just feel as you're tackled in the gut, taken and just kind of sprawling on the floor. So you have to kind of
And
like
at that
go
point-
in.
Well,
At that point-
I'm trying to
Pick them.
catch him like before the tackle. Do I?
It
is
just
it too
it
late?
happened split
Yeah,
second.
okay.
Yeah.
At this point, Randall is basically just right over, like squatting on his chest, just trying to cram this potato into his
He's
mouth.
mad again.
Okay.
Oh, for heaven's
All right.
sake.
Eat it!
Roll
Eat
me.
the potato! I'll show you Yondala. you
Hold
son of a
on.
Gotha's
bitch.
grabbing him by the
Randall,
shoulders
please.
and lifting with both hands.
Okay, in the time that it takes for Gotho to get to Randall, in that brief moment, those 2 or 3 steps, give me opposing athletics checks to put the potato into his mouth.
Okay. Unless he wants the potato in his
I'm just gonna wiggle out of it.
You're gonna wiggle out of it. Okay, so give me the opposing athletic checks.
Oh no!
Try to wiggle, but he's got you for a moment, and he grabs your jaw real quick and shoves it in. He doesn't make you bite. He goes to like push your jaw closed on this small
Chew it.
piece of half of
Eat
potato
it.
before suddenly the weight is lifted as Gotho comes behind and
Eat the potato!
He's gonna pick up Randall, and then without putting him down,
Just like a maelstrom of limbs at this point.
Gotha's gonna take his hands and like turn Randall around. So he's looking at him.
you get turned
So
around.
he like turns him around to face Gotha and says, "You are not helping," and then let's go.
I'm gonna spit it out. I'm gonna spit it out.
You just let go, so it's just.
Yeah.
Randall, I made your
He lets
god.
go,
I made
so
your
that's
god.
Hold on. If he's standing with his arms straight out, that's about 7 feet around. So it's about a 4-foot drop.
It just collapses into a
And
pile
again, on top of Baranus.
No, not on Baranus. He like turns him.
Yeah.
No,
slightly
okay,
aside.
okay. You gotta clarify these things. Baranus would have took 20 d6 damage. I'm kidding.
Wait, was that within 9
Plate
feet?
mail. Plate mail.
That was within
it.
9 feet. Yeah, right.
I'm gonna throw Randall exactly 9 feet away.
Yeah, so as you're yelling that you ate his god, Baranus, he just promptly crashes down next to you. You're gonna throw
I'm
off
trying to put
balance
the
and-
potato back together. I'm mortified that I just killed a god. This is horrible.
Gotho just looks at Fora and uses the infernal voice, which I'm not going to attempt because my throat is destroyed from hacks.
Save your
and,
voice.
and there's no way I can do the infernal voice right now. But he looks at her and infernal speak just says, "These are the two we're trusting to help us hunt down a vampire and kill a god."
They're the only options we have right now.
Yeah, I see that. And then, then he goes back. Then he goes back to attempting to speak English. Can you stop?
Let's make a decision here. Let's wait. Let's wait for Marcus.
And no more killing gods.
And no more killing gods. And no more shoving potatoes down people's throats, however much we may want to.
And if it is a potato, wait until Gotho gets clean once.
Wait until Gotho gets a clean potato. So we
That one
can...
is rotted.
That's
I'm
a
sorry.
horrible potato. Horrible way to make friends, Randall.
It's been a long morning. It was a very long night. I did not sleep well. Nightmares. I have no excuses, my friends. I am sorry.
How about
Baranus,
since
at this point, he's trying to help Baranus up off of his back.
since we're going to be here
Just
for a
him.
while, waiting for King Gray, why don't we take a rest? And we can get better, and so that we can be in tip-top shape for when he does come through here.
Where are we supposed? Are we nearby where we're supposed to meet the
There
rebels?
is no
we
time
took-
on it.
There
we already
was-
took a rest at the end of the last session. We should all be full.
Yeah, you guys are
Are
full.
we
You can
full?
take a
I
short
thought Randall
rest.
hadn't.
You guys
Oh,
don't
he
know
had
that I have a
slept.
point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
I slept, but I had 2 points of exhaustion.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't- I look
Yes,
kind of
the-
haggard. But
So yeah, you guys wouldn't be able to
tension
take a
rings.
long rest. A short rest, maybe
Okay.
to like do things, maybe repair something or mend. So potentially, you from the brief discussion that you had with Tomath, you guys are right now just kind of south of Viber's Ruin, and he had kind of indicated that the spot where they take a small rest in the Fairy Woods is well within, and they don't really go outside of the Fairy Woods. So. And you would briefly remember, like, as you guys were walking past, you decided to skirt south, southeast, and then go up around the forest into Viber's Ruin, where there was an entrance into that kind of like rather strange and eerie-looking part of the forest, a little bit off to the north from where you were. So you would kind of know, like, this is probably not where you have to stay, and if you stay here, Baranus, he'd just pass right by.
Yeah.
Well, if I check my map, we're just a little away. If we travel just a little bit, we can go to the site where we're meeting our friends, and maybe we could set up for the trap.
West, right?
Sure. Yes.
We need to go west. We traveled east. Gray headed north to get back on his trail. We go west. Gotho will find the tracks.
Okay.
Once we find the tracks, he will come back the same way. Path through the woods. We set the trap there.
Sounds good.
Let's.
I'm
Let's-
still
let's
spitting
go
out.
then.
I'm still spitting out potato, and I want to put it all, cover up all the pieces, and just kind of on the back of Randall, just tap his shoulder and put all the potato pieces into his hands.
oh my god.
I'm sorry about Yandala.
You said that was not your god.
Well, it's not my god.
No, Randall said that was his god.
Yes.
But before he said it was not.
Randall's confused. He had a long night.
Yandala
Yes.
is a potato.
Yes.
There are a lot of things we need to teach you, apparently, Gotho.
He's learning a lot.
Life is
He's learned about a lot of
confusing at
things.
times.
Life is
We're
coming
so-
at Gotho very hard right now.
Onwards.
Randall kind of he's just kind of like shaking almost in frustration as he slowly takes this like these like bits of mouthful of potato and slowly like puts them in his pocket. It's not
Does Fora
further
see
the
that he's
confusion.
frustrated?
Yeah,
It's
you can see the
if you're looking at him, you can just
the furrowed brows, and he's just kind of like defeated sigh.
You could also tell that Gotho is genuinely confused when he looked at the potato and said, "Oh my god."
Fora
Gotho's like,
puts she puts her hands on Randall's shoulders and just leans in and kisses his forehead and says, "We're going to be okay. We're going to make it through this."
Randall goes rabbit again.